right after that.
When the assets pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, because Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right?
Yeah.
Like I read that when I was 19. I was like, okay, your assets have to pay for your luxury, right? Because then you can do it all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop. You know what I'm saying? But if you
ball forever,
exactly. If you use
you're the only person
income,
I know that's put a system on it where it'll never fuck you. You're the only person I know that's done it.
Yeah, I invest 50% of every dollar I make. Damn. My dad told me to do that. When I was in high school. And I was like, "Is that what you do?" He was like, "Nah," but I want to make sure you don't. But it's like I saw why he said it. He was telling me to do this because he fucked up, right? And then that was part of the reason why he ended up like taking his life. Like he lost everything, and all types of shit, right? And
so 50% automatically is going into the thing. Like it's coming in because I know all your money comes in one account, which I did that too. Yeah. And then 50% goes immediately to investing. And then the other 50 it goes to where.
And then so like 30% of the income is what you live off of.
Okay.
Right. And then the numbers change depending on where you at, right? But I like 30% because it's like it's.
And when we say that, are we talking food, your rent?
Everything.
Electricity?
Rent, food, electric bills, right? So you immediately realize, but you got to make more money.
To use that 30%.
Yeah, you got to make more money. If you're only going to live on 30% of your income, you got to make more money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like seriously.
Also, inflation, prices are going up.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit you like that fast in a year, right? But that's where the investments come from. Because if you're investing money, inflation helps you. You get what I'm saying? Like if you have investments, then inflation is a good thing. You think this shit is happening on accident?
No.
You think the fucking smartest people in the world are just letting this shit happen?
Yeah.
Aren't letting this shit happen?
Oh yeah.
Because they invested, right? When inflation goes up, motherfucking the prices of your assets
a perfect
go
example.
up.
Like real estate, one of my favorite hedges against inflation.
Yeah.
Because the money that you owe on it goes down in value because you secured a mortgage on that property, and then the value of it goes up. So what ends up happening is like over a period of time, the equity in the home is a lot of times will be worth more than what you owe on it.
You can call it like a forced saving account.
So if you know that, do you think that the motherfuckers in charge don't want?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
They know what it is.
They know what it is.
So, but yeah, so 30% is a really good. So that's the barometer. Like people should strive for that.
30 to 40. You know what I'm saying? So these numbers are like, you strive for 30. No,
that's good because then basically you should be able to pay your rent and everything 3 times over.
Yeah,
that's what people. So I think for people logistically when they're looking here, okay, well 30% kind of personify that for me. Okay, we should be able to pay for your living expenses and your rent 3 times over. That means that you make more than enough and you're in a good position to invest.
Yeah,
right?
And then you got about like let's call it like 10%, 5 to 10%.
So 50 goes in, 30 for living. So now you got 20 left.
Yeah, you got 20 left, right? So maybe like 15%. Let's call it 15% for taxes. Now, if you got a job, some of that tax is coming out.
Yeah.
But you still want to put 50% because let's say you got a business as well. So you want to keep some of the money, then you can write some of the shit off, and you might not be profitable your first year. So, you know what I'm saying? You might not pay no taxes on your business, right?
Yeah.
And so it really just depends. And then when you have a business, you can write shit off, and depending on the state you live in, that percentage might have to be more.
Yep.
Or depending on what kind of write-offs you have.
Shit like that. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I left New York.
Yep. Was the taxes were getting
the
crazy,
taxes
right?
is the number one reason I left New York.
Damn.
Yeah. New York State tax is not. Yeah, bro.
And Manhattan has this tax. Yeah, there's another tax if you live in Manhattan. Is a city tax. Yeah.
So you're getting taxed by the feds, then you get taxed by the state, and then the city taxes you for being in Manhattan in particular.
Yeah.
Is there a Queens or Brooklyn tax or no?
Nah, man.
Manhattan.
I mean, the tax for living in Brooklyn is living in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gotten better now, though. I was shocked.
Oh, yeah, it's gotten
a lot better now, but
man.
Yeah.
You won't like the reason why.
Oh,
you won't like it.
Yeah, I know why.
I think it's cool.
We're comedians, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
You won't like the reason why.
This is a comedy skit.
Yeah, but
Understandable.
But
no, I think New York is 32, man.
I love New York.
I love New York.
I love New York, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to back in Dykeman, Washington Heights, they call me, you know what I'm saying, Papi Negro. You know what I'm saying? Keto Suave. You know what I'm saying? Me and they, you know, que lo que. But
He said, "What's up in Dominican?"
Yeah, I did not know that there's a Manhattan tax though.
Yeah,
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So then you have like 5% just for balling.
Yeah.
Just for fucking ball, like spending on some dumb shit is like a reward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 5 to 10%. You know, depending on how much you put aside for taxes. You know, just for balling.
Okay.
And
so if you make $10K a month, basically, you're putting like $500 away.
Exactly.
For fun.
Right. So if you want to buy
$10K a month, guys.
Exactly. Right. So that motivated me. Right.
Yeah.
So like, let's say
because 500 ain't that much when you're making 10.
Let's say I wanted to buy
make way more.
Let's say I wanted to buy a new outfit that cost like 500. You know, I want to get some new J's. This is back in the day. I wanted to get some J's and maybe some other shit. You know, I got to spend 500. That means I set a goal. Okay, I know I got to make 10 bands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it would push me.
Gotcha.
To make more money. You get what I'm saying? If you put those kind of restrictions on it. But the reason, but also
it's good mental.
Right. It's a reframe.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The shit I want to buy costs $500. I got to make 10 bands. So I get it. But remember, we're investing half the money we make.
Yeah.
Right. So that forces me to invest $5,000.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
You see how that works?
It goes into an account that you don't even.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that was really. I mean, that's one of the reasons. You know, I see people talking about, man, they fucking go broke. You're either influencers or fucking even business people, and that was one of the things that kept me, kept me afloat, because it's been down times.
Of course, yeah.
But it don't look like there's down times.
Yeah. Right,
because it's like, okay, boom, I got all these investments I was able to pull from. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, my dad didn't. You know what I'm saying?
At what age did you learn this? What age were you when you learned this? Because
a lot of shit was, my dad was telling me shit to do that he didn't do. Like, he was telling me all his mistakes. So a lot of people don't know this. I got sent away to military school. We grew up on the south side of Chicago, like super poor and shit, right? And I got sent away to military school, and I was like one of the only like broke kids there. It was on some like affirmative action shit. They needed another nigga up in there, and I guess they looked at me and said, "Close enough." Yeah. And
the black token.
Yeah, so I was up there, man. And when we were struggling, like mom ain't have a car, none of that shit, But when I went to military school, around that time, his business started to take off. He was working on his business the whole time, right? Struggling. It then started to take off.
Sales, right? Or...
Yeah, he had an insurance claims business, but he did all the sales, right?
Gotcha.
And he ran it. He started to take off. And by the time I graduated from high school, he was making $3 million a year.
Wow.
Adjusted for inflation, this is in 2000.
Yeah.
So adjusted for inflation, that'd have been $8 million.
Yeah.
And I didn't experience it because I was gone, right? I knew it happened. So because I knew it happened, anything this nigga told me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw him come up. So anything, and remember, this nigga was a street nigga, right? He ain't have no high school diploma. He was an orphan. He ain't know his parents, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a real Chicago street nigga. And like, straight up, like, I ain't no other way to say it. And then I didn't experience none of the wealth, but I knew it happened, right? Because I was at military school. Then I went to college, Howard University. By the time I graduated from college, he lost all the money, then killed himself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because the depression that hit in like 07, 08, right?
It was like he lost all the money, right? And then he got fucking bad. Like, he wasn't mentally right. And then he killed himself in 07. Like, but because
he lost it before the depression hit.
Well, before the recession, because it was
recession, excuse me.
But there was like signs of that before. Like, some people were doing bad, like small business and shit were already doing bad.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying?
He knew it was coming.
It came to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he knew a fucking recession was coming, but he knew that his shit was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't see no way out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of just taught me, okay, just because you get rich, don't mean you can't fuck it up. So we started back from zero. He didn't leave us no money. He ain't had no money. There was nothing left. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even fit the nigga's shoes, right? So my feet are bigger than.
Where did all the money go? Like, what did he spend it on? Like,
man, some real shit. So he
like $30 million, and back then is a lot of money, bro.
Here's the thing.
Oh.
This is why I want everybody listening, because some of y'all are gonna come up. So if y'all watching this shit and y'all listening to this and y'all taking action, some of y'all are gonna come up.
Yeah.
If you start, sometimes people come up and they stop doing the things that got them there.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they start indulging in the fruits of their labor.
Yeah.
You know, and right, you
So
you
true.
can you can go too far, right? So now you're not doing the shit that got you there, so you're not moving forward, and then you indulging in other shit, you know, and
Compound effect.
gambling, you know, fucking who knows what else, you know what I'm saying?
Drugs, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of
I don't
people do
think
that when they move here.
He wasn't fucking with drugs, but I seen it with other people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And yeah, man, there's no amount of money you can't fuck up, right? So that's why I still work hard.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do, right? But like that's just back in my mind. Like my dad made it and then lost it.
Yeah.
And anyone could do it. Like Allen Iverson went broke. He fucked up like $300 million or something crazy.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mike Tyson made like $300 million,
Yeah.
lost it all. Like there's no amount of money you can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like straight up, there's no amount of money. $300 million Mike Tyson lost, went broke, bankrupt, had to start over.
And that's 90s money. So
Yeah.
that's like double now.
This motherfucker was living in Washington Heights. He went from being $3 million to broke, living with this chick I know in Washington Heights, her and her grandma.
Bro.
No bullshit.
Tyson?
Mike Tyson, he was living in the Heights.
Dude,
and then he
wow.
came up again, you know?
There was an after party after the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. Went to Mike Tyson's old house. Bro, fucking mega mansion, bro.
No.
Dude, I'm just cost an arm and leg.
Oh, yeah, the one with the tigers that he used to have. Yeah.
Bro, that's
Yeah, yeah.
his expenses were so high, bro. I can't imagine like doing
Yeah,
that.
he had a house in Farmington, I remember. 50 Cent bought it.
Yeah, even 50
big
was
ass
like, yo,
house.
man, this shit's too expensive.
Yeah,
man.
50 got rid of it.
Like-
50 got rid of it too. And I was like, why the fuck would you want to live in Farmington, Connecticut? But
Yeah,
that's all,
bro.
but, you know, that's crazy, bro.
For the story, yeah, I owned the house that he owned.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
guess- I
amount of
guess.
money you can't fuck up. So that's why, like, to Fresh's point, like, one-time things I'll buy, right? Like, watches. And also, like, if shit hits the fan, I can get money for my watch.
Sell it.
I
Yeah.
can get money for my jewelry because, you know what I'm saying? I can get, if shit hits the fan.
Something.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like my boy Jeremy says, it's like, it's like parking money. It's like parking cash and watches.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And a lot of times watches, like luxury watches will appreciate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You buy the right one for sure.
If you buy the right watch and if you don't do shit to it, it'll appreciate, you know? So it's sometimes with inflation or even better, like the right watch, you know, right watch at the right time, like any investment, right? And so I look at this shit like parking money.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You know? Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the part that's so difficult for people is like taking 50% of their income and assuming that's not even there. That's just going to be saved and used for other endeavors to build wealth, whether, you know, it be real estate or, you know, stocks or whatever. I know that you trade.
Yeah.
Right?
I trade
So-
and I invest.
You
know,
trade
I
and
invest in
invest.
stock, you know. Yeah.
So,
But what Bradon does is very smart. After he made his money and his status, so to speak, his network is actually very powerful. Derek Moneyberg, Jeremy,
yeah.
they all have like money themselves.
Network, yeah.
Yeah. So he's staying up to date because he knows what to do with his money. Invest in stocks,
Yeah.
you know, do the puts and do the trading.
Yeah.
And then, of course, market with Jeremy.
I'm laughing at
Is
some
that
of this chat. No, it's T.I. It's
Old-
the
yeah,
old picture of T.I.
Yeah, from
Oh,
like
shit.
04 and shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Yo, man, man, listen. T.I. one of my favorite rappers, man. I used to listen back when I was hustling, I was riding around listening to that trap music album.
Yo,
like
oh,
it was
yeah.
the soundtrack.
way back.
Two artists I know that killed it after their career, like they made it really big after from the lawsuits, T.I. and Florida. They won a lot of money.
Who did
Yo,
T.I.
Flo Rida.
sue?
Yo, Florida,
Flow Rider came up, he got $100 million from Celsius.
Celsius,
I know
bro.
Celsius, but what did T.I. do? Who did he sue?
He sued some fucking
These
toy brand.
people copied his kids' images
shit.
Yeah.
and put it on toys.
Like he had
Oh,
he had
shit.
like this
Trademark.
this kid group
Oh,
and they fucking stole that. They copied that shit.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
And then he sued them for
Yeah.
infringement.
So imagine-
$100 million.
You got your money from the rap game. You could have fucked it up. Could have made money. Who knows what? Then you got money from your actual songs. You could sell. You know, sell the catalogs or whatever. But if you don't fuck